All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another shortcut series. I've got my friend George here, and we're going to share some stuff with you today. We're going to start out with some AI stuff, but really we're going to talk about how you can find your market, develop an offer, and then use some tactics to persuade those people to buy your products. That's what the shortcut series, for me, that's all about. I like to talk to people who are doing, who have been doing. It's cool to talk to new people too, just to kind of see, the traits and the opportunities that they're taking advantage of to get results. But talking to people who have been there for years, who are seasoned, who have already butted up against, struggle and been able to overcome, I think that's kind of cool. But I want to start here. The reason that George, and I've known George for a while now, actually, but the reason George came on my radar is because he was in one of our office meetings with Bradley, and he was talking about our AI tools and how you had used those to get some pretty awesome results for a new niche that you're now adding to your agency. Is that what it is?
100%.
All right, cool. So talk to us about your experience with using our AI ad writing tools and some of the results you've gotten from that.
Yeah, so I never really did lead forms. I was always like the landing page guy, go to the landing page and, opt in and you get better results and yada, yada, yada. You get better quality people. And so I started doing lead forms, and it was a little bit of a learning curve, even though I've done this for a little while using the lead pages. So when you do, lead forms, there's the text, and then there's more text, the greeting text, and then there's all this other stuff that you have to, plug in there. And you guys have some templates on it. But so I used the AI tool, went into the med spa with actually one of my customers that came into my wellness center, wanted me to do her marketing for her. And originally I told her no, because like I didn't want to get into this whole new market. So I'm like, I got to learn med spa and like Botox and all this other stuff, right? So so I told her no, and then a couple of weeks ago I said, sure, let's do it. And I used your AI tool to put in an offer, and what was nice, it like sent me a Google Doc that had everything already filled in. I was like, okay, crap, this is easy. So, instead of having to go back and forth and try to find something in UpHex that's kind of similar and plug that in, it just gave me everything. Gave me the greeting, gave me the Facebook message, terms of service, all those little pieces that you have to put in there to make it look right. And then started running that offer. And within, I don't know, we're not even at 3 weeks yet. We're 2.5 weeks. We have 110 leads that have come into this. Yeah, I'm like,
so you're new into the space.
Yeah.
Somebody says, okay, give this thing a shot. You're like, I wasn't going to, because you understand.
Yes.
You're going to have to learn some stuff, about you should, right? But you said, all right, let's see what this AI can do. You put it to the test, and the last 3 weeks you've been crushing it with just based off of what you produce from the AI tool.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we used, like images I made, but
sure,
those are easy to come across. But use the headlines, or use the, all the, everything that was in there. I just plugged it in, put it in there. And like, she thinks I'm a genius, right? So obviously there's a back end to it. You have to have a workflow and all that other stuff. So you do need to have that, but I already have that knowledge. I just switched it out from what I was doing to this. And now she's recommending me everybody. Like we just onboarded somebody today. We have another gal that started on Thursday last week. She already has 47 leads into her system since Thursday. Same exact offer. All I did was copy it, into her account. Same exact offer. Didn't have to change anything. I just changed the price, and that was it.
I think that's one thing that a lot of new people don't understand. And I actually saw Rob Bailey has a short or a TikTok or something where I think he says, figure out your Facebook ad and then just rinse and repeat. Right.
Yeah.
And this is a behavior that, so I started the agency game in 2015. And before that, there wasn't really anybody to copy or emulate or listen to, really, because we were all kind of figuring it out. And I learned that, hey, I've got this ad and the set of images, this ad copy and all stuff, that whenever I use it, it works.
Right.
And then I use it on this guy and this gal and this guy and this gal, and it just keeps working. And so you learn that you don't, when it comes to marketing and the things that generate leads, you don't guess. You test, and then once it's working, it's a control. And so that's why, and that was one of the like the big one of the big ahas with UpHex was like, dude, all we're doing over and over again is uploading the same stuff. What if we could just make it so you could upload it once, and then anybody who clicked it in the future, all of the other uploading activities, so ads, images, ad copy, targeting, technical, all that stuff was just done. So, and now the AI is an addition to that. Okay, because the AI, and maybe I'll just take 2 seconds to talk about this AI. AI is going to change a lot of things, right? The way I see AI, at least right now today, because it's ever evolving, is to serve as a co-pilot to you, the agency owner or the business owner, and to help you source, recreate, modify, adapt, test new ad creative in a fraction of the time, you know? And I do think as a person who has spent I don't know how many hours, it's got to be thousands of hours learning how to copyright and doing copywriting. It kind of bugs me a little bit that this tool can jump in here and whip it out, and it's potentially better than what I could do in like a fraction of this. So that kind of bugs me, but we're gonna roll with that one. But it's really cool that you've been able to take your 3 years of experience, roll in and jump into a brand new space with relative ease. You know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you know what I really like about it, Sam, is that, you know, the whole niche down thing, especially if you're new, don't niche down. I wish I would have listened to Sean a long time ago. You know, walk out your door, start freaking helping people. Like, you know, and I did it, and I was niching down, which is fine after you have some experience, I guess. But even now, I'm going backwards. I'm like, you know, I'm seeing business owners that come into my wellness center and they're seeing my system and they're like asking me for help. Like on Friday, I have this guy that's doing artificial turf. I would have never met with him, you know,
Right.
like, but now I have the confidence using UpHex. You know, I could create some ads, put them in the template and get them, you know, rocking and rolling without me hardly having to know anything about, you know, artificial turf. I've already looked at some ads that people already created. I'm like, okay, it's the same thing. So, you know, that's how I'm rolling with it.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And it's funny because that is what Sean Clark, CEO of Highlevel, talks about how Podium, is it Podium? How Podium, basically the guy went out his front door in Provo, Utah, and just like sold door to door this one feature. And when you're talking about so there's moments in time, and so I'll agree with you, but I'll push back a little bit. Okay. There's moments in time where a new feature in the marketplace is novel and new. Like in our space, you know, and we'll talk about why we're actually in the same space on the agency side of our business. But in our space, you've heard of Review Wave, yes?
Yes.
Review Wave came in and they were offering one feature, which was automated reviews. Well, with Highlevel, that's now like no longer a unique feature.
Right.
But for a long time, all they did was go door to door to door. Now they had a niche, but they could that review automation could work in any niche, right? In any in any type of local business. And so what you're talking about is absolutely valid. And by the way, this is the massive opportunity that is available to people who see the opportunity or the category, which is local business. Everybody going after e-commerce, going after these huge accounts, going after like whatever that is, have it. Because the local brick and mortar, who is not sophisticated, who does not look at all of these things that are getting developed on a daily basis, does not know, see, understand, have access to some of the small little things like you're talking about, right? And so that's why you can literally walk out your front door and get any customer in your local market to buy a bundle like UpHex plus GHL like that.
Yeah, it's easy. And it's, you know, again, it's given me that confidence to just go out and not say no when I know I should be saying yes, and adding an extra $400 on a, you know, $397, $497. And it's it's a game changer for me. And like I said, the niching down thing, yes, I know it has its place, but for me, I'm literally going backwards. I started with the niche. I started like, hey, you got to niche down. So I'm like, okay, just chiropractors. And I left a lot of stuff on the table over the years, and
Right.
then I started doing hyperbaric for one office in Newport Beach. And I'm like, wow, what is this thing? Then I got another office and then another office. And then now I'm doing marketing for the actual chamber company, the one that sells the chambers. They reached out to me because of the success that these other companies were having. And then I just said, hell, I'm just going to open up my own wellness center. And then that's when all these local, like people that come in, they're just local business owners. And I'm showing them my system, like they're right there, So I'm showing them my system. I'm showing them UpHex, not UpHex, but like the templates that I built out.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we
Yeah.
got to talk. Oh, we got to, like, everybody's like, we got to talk. So now I'm able to service them knowing that, hey, I don't have to take months and months to try to learn somebody's, space. I could go and,
Yeah.
we all bought stuff before. So it's kind of like the same thing, right? Like, give me an offer, make it easy for me to contact you and whatever, either come in, give me a quote or whatever you want to do. So it's a game changer for me and I'm loving it. I even joined some local like uh, Facebook groups in my area. I'm putting like
Yeah.
little fillers out there, not trying to be too
Yeah.
markety. I'm just like putting some
Yeah.
fillers out there, but it was nice to just see people face to face.
Yeah. That's a shortcut.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys, we're all about shortcuts on this. Let me just expound just a little bit. We talk about offers and persuasion. Okay. And a lot of times, so on some of my videos, I have this animation where the two are bouncing, like it's a scale. The better your offer, the worse that your persuasion abilities can be, and vice versa. Persuasion has different parts, and one of the big parts is trust and credibility. Okay, me and person XYZ are on a phone call. They're not seeing my face. How much trust? Well, you can convey trust and credibility through your tone of voice, your certainty. You can do that. Okay. A level up from there, a Zoom call. Now they see me. Now there's, another level of texture to layer on top of this thing. You want to make selling easy. You get right in front of a person, you touch them hand to hand, glove to glove, as it were, and you say, hey, you want more grass sod customers, whatever it is, turf customers. Tell me how you get them now. What if we could some ads and you can get a whole bunch of them? This is what my system does. Sign me up. Because all of the tripping of, is this person credible? Are they real? Well, if they're right there in front of you, all of those objections are immediately removed. And now you're selling face to face. This is something I think a lot of people are scared to do. They would prefer to stay, in a digital office like this where they have some anonymity in effect. But man, you want to get those first couple customers. There's no easier way to do it than just to go look at them face to face and say, here's how I can help you. Are you interested?
And what's interesting too, Sam, is I've purposely not wanted to grow my agency because I was charging the $1,500 SMMA, and there's so much damn work, and I'm
Oh yeah.
almost 56. I didn't want to work that hard, and then
You look good, bro.
what's
You look
that?
really good.
Thank you.
I mean, you're not old. I'm just saying you look great.
But like I would hold back. I would literally hold back because I didn't want
Yeah.
all this weight on me of like having to manage people and
Mhm.
like I would have, like knots in my stomach just from like having to, do they get enough leads? Are they happy? It's like, geez, I kept telling
Yeah.
him, and I have a very small team, because I see people on there like, you know, they have these teams and they do want to do $100,000 a month. Hey, more power to you. But for the average person, 15 to $20,000 more per month is a life changer. So if you're
Right.
if
Right.
you're watching this and you see these other gurus or these guys on there, and I see them all the time, right? Like, do $100,000 a month. I do $150,000 a month. I did it like in 30 days or whatever. It's like, I don't know, but
Yeah.
to me, the 20 to $1,000 extra on top of the other things that I do is
Yeah.
life changing, and it's very doable, especially with UpHex, especially with the AI, especially with the tools that Highlevel gives us. And it's real. Like it's there.
You know, again, I normally try and conduct these. I had some thoughts about where I wanted to go with this before coming in, but I don't. I love where the conversation is going, and I could not agree with you more. This is one of the things that, and this is not just a couple of old guys talking to you, young bucks. Okay, that's not what this is.
Yeah.
But I can tell you right now that the propensity to hire, and do all of this, man, that is a part of business that first, I'm not great at anyway. Second, is no fun. It will suck your profit. It'll take your profit margins down from, hey, I'm super profitable to what is left over at the end of the month for me. That was absolutely when I was doing SMMA, like without UpHex, dude, that's what we would get to 30 customers and the wheels would fall off.
Yeah.
Okay. You're talking about 30 independent locations, 30 different people, 30 ad campaigns, 30 ad optimizations, 30 fill in the blank, 30 all of these things. And the people we would hire to come in and do these things, either they cost us an arm and a leg because they're super skilled and whatever, right? Or they need you to do everything or have perfect SOPs. And I wasn't good at those things either.
Yeah, me neither. I suck at those. I'd rather sell. I'd rather just
Yeah,
sell, talk to people,
dude,
and just like
exactly.
give them something
I
easy
gotta
to
tell you,
use.
I got to tell you, this was probably for me. I don't want to make this about me, but I'm just telling you, when I shifted, when we first, there was this moment when we said, hey, we have UpHex before anybody else, right? There was this moment where we were thinking, are we just going to ditch our traditional agency model? Are we going to go after this? And we did some testing just to make sure we weren't being foolish, you guys. I didn't like just blow my agency up because, I had a family and I have a family and just not going to take chances. But we did some initial testing and people loved it, right? And I remember the first time, and I've told this story many times, I remember the first time we put UpHex in the hands of a user and on a webinar, this was dicey. On a webinar, the gal, her name was Michelle, she clicked the ad, and back then we were using landing pages mostly. She put in the ad, the landing page, and launch. And I said in this example, I said, you did it. It was like that.
Yeah.
And everybody, there was like 100 people on this webinar. And right like that, we went from SMMA one day to SaaS the next.
Yeah.
And we went up past 127 customers in like 2.5 months, something like that. And the crazy part about this whole thing was we did all of this with me and Jacob, and then one part-time stay-at-home mom with 6 times the amount of customers than we'd ever had before.
Yeah.
And it was less work.
Yeah, I could see it.
It was less work.
Yeah.
And I was like, where was this? Why haven't we? Obviously, the tool didn't exist earlier. That's why we didn't do it. But that's why when anybody ever says SMMA versus SaaS, I'm like, I could show you a graph and a spreadsheet, show you the math behind this one and why it's better. But just my own experience when I made the shift, oh my gosh, my quality of life just changed instantly.
And that's a great point. And there's also room for right? And SMMA,
absolutely.
because I just lost our last SMMA customer 2 weeks ago to get 80 leads every month with hyperbaric. And he says, I can't make it work. I'm like, okay, like I'm making it work with like half of that. I have memberships, I have packages, like all kinds of stuff, I'm like, they have, and I was actually happy to lose them. I was like, good. I don't have to worry about this guy, unencumbered. And just having, going back to the SMMA versus SaaS, you could, if you have somebody that you get in on 297, 3, whatever price, using that, and they start to build out the procedures and that, because it's always the back end, right? It's like, are you talking to the leads? Are you following up with the leads? I don't care
Yeah.
whether they're paying you $10,000 a month or $300 a month. If that's not happening, then nobody's going to be successful. But I know, because I'm looking at it already. We're like, hey, there's probably a couple of people, once they get their back end, they could bump up to a little bit more things. Maybe they want to do Google ads, right? Like there's pretty easy to do Google ads for these businesses and add an extra $300 or $400 on just conditions, or having somebody that's a call center that calls their leads. Like I know you do that. So
I do that. And what's getting interesting, and we start this conversation talking about AI.
Yeah.
And UpHex is using AI tools to do a lot of really interesting things. But while I own UpHex, I still maintain an active agency. Yep. And that's run by a COO. She does a great job. We're hiring people. It's really good. But one of the things that affords me is the ability to go in and play mad scientist from time to time, me and my team. And Jacob, have you ever been on Jacob's calls?
When he's building stuff?
Yeah, Jacob, he's on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jacob, mad scientist, that guy, I mean, he's too smart for his own good. And in our own agency, we've already started doing it in beta, but we are going to be offering, so UpHex, 3-click ads, right? And then hands off conversational booking bot. Okay. Now I don't even call it a booking bot, booking AI.
Yeah.
So, and right now we're actually using it. And here's what the reality is. We have people into my agency platform. This is Highlevel, white labeled with UpHex installed. And our customers go in, they click whatever ad they want to launch. They click it, they put in their budget, and they click launch. They're done. Once they're done with that, now a bot is engaging and booking those leads using conversational booking protocols.
Right. It's integrated with ChatGPT and Zapier.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is exactly what, if you were to be the genie in the bottle, right? And you were to be talking to a doctor in this case, right? How, if I had a marketing system, what if it could do this, that would be like a genie moment.
Yeah.
I just push the button, leads come in, and appointments get booked onto my calendar.
Yeah.
Without me lifting a finger.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah. So you guys, we're not going to be talking about that here on this video. This is new stuff, but if you want to learn more about that stuff, join our UpHex Facebook group, because that's where we will be showing, teaching, sharing. We do daily classes. So just, if you want to know where we're going with this stuff, join that group. And over the next several weeks, we're gonna have a lot of fun.
And with you saying that you're a mad scientist, you're able to go into these accounts. I actually became the avatar. So I own a wellness center, HBot Planet. So I am the avatar. I'm in my system, like testing these things for myself, like what you're talking about. But if you guys can make it easier, I'm all for it, because it is a little bit of there's some complexity to it that, yeah, I might have a little bit of technical chops, but I was still born in '67. Like it was a while ago.
Well, imagine this. Okay, and me not being the technical person. So if somebody who is like a super good GHL nerd and you're watching this, just kind of discount a little bit of what I say, because I don't do this. But imagine this. In Highlevel, using workflows to set off conversations based on intent. That's what we've been doing. Now we're not doing that. We're engaging a conversational AI that starts the conversation and that engages a workflow based on an action that needs to happen. So conversation happens, appointment gets booked, bam. Now we have a workflow that triggers a reminder sequence, a whatever sequence, okay, and a sales tracking sequence. So we're actually kind of inversing that. Highlevel built those awesome workflow tools to replace Zapier, to replace all the stuff that you were doing in, what was that one? I can't remember. There's too many CRMs. But basically, this happens and that happens and all these conditional things. Well, we don't need those anymore, because there's a bot, there's an AI having conversations with our leads. And at which point in time, that bot has learned how to convert that person to a booked appointment, which is the result we want. It will then level back into the automation of the process, book that appointment, and trigger a phone call from our customer. Hey, we see you have an appointment booked for Monday. Before you come, do you have any questions for us? Great. See you Monday. Click. Done. That's what we're talking about here, you guys.
Yeah, that's
It
what I
has
do.
never been easier. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's also exciting.
No, I
But
love it. Like, it's we're right there. Like it's there. It's there right now. And a lot of these
it's happening right now.
and
Yeah.
like what I get to do now is when people do come into my wellness center, they do their session and we're talking to them, they tell me about their business. I give them a little peek into I'm like, hey, I'm creating this conversational bot. Like I'm doing it
Yeah.
now, right now myself, but it is so complicated. I'd rather just have UpHex sell it to me or whatever you guys are going to do. Um,
Right.
but I'm showing them and they're like, they can't believe it. They're like, wow, like you will like literally, you don't even have to have it up and running. You could just mention it to them that, hey, we're testing our own conversational bot that will book appointments for you in your calendar and then give them a
Yeah.
follow-up text message. And they're like blown
Yeah.
away, like local plumber, the
Yeah.
electrician, artificial turf, whatever, med spa. They haven't heard of this stuff, you guys. Like we have because we're like in it. But I promise you, these business people, I talk to them every day. They don't have a clue of what's going on. They're about 3 to 4 years behind us.
At least.
Yeah.
No, and you're absolutely right. So it's a super exciting time to be in the business. When I got in the business, Facebook ads were easy to sell because nobody really had talked about them. And so we would get customers really easily. I got 25 customers in my first month of business. If that same version of me were starting today without all of this cool stuff that we've got going on right now,
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. Right. But with all this stuff, I'll tell you something like kind of like a side story that's very, very telling. So my COO, she's been working with Jacob to build the system, which the system, if you think about it, learns from our ad campaign. So think about this. The AI knows the templates that are getting launched from UpHex. It knows that it's a pain offer, for example, or a knee pain offer. It knows. And it learns on that single template. Okay, so it's doing that.
So it's learning from the actual template?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, I mean, you're not somebody who has back pain or knee pain or a different, like the variations matter. Okay. And so this AI is learning the different types of services and responding nuanced. Okay. And so last week, we're hiring a new salesperson. And so my COO wanted to see what is the message that would resonate with these clients. So she got onto 2 sales. Now, she doesn't do that. She hasn't been trained to do that. It's not her job, but she just did it just to talk to the customers and say, here's what we have. We have a proven library of ads that you can click, put in your budget, and click launch. And you do without an agency, and you can be proficient at doing it within 1 minute. Okay. Now we've trained a conversational AI that books you appointments and has already learned all of the proven ads. So it sees and knows who they are. It books appointments. All you have to do is do a confirmation phone call after the appointment is booked. What do you think? And everybody was like, the 2 she talked to, sign me up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah. You know what's funny on that?
We're at the sign me up place.
And I know this is not like, I know we're going down the AI, thing, but it's fascinating. So I set up my bot and somehow I set it up right on my Facebook Messenger. And I had a lady just say, get started. And all of a sudden the bot started having a conversation with her. She was telling me that she's going to check with her physician because her son just had an operation. And this bot is like going back and forth, talking to her, talking about her son. Yeah. Double check with your physician. We want to make sure it's safe for him. And, like this great conversation. So I have that conversation and I've showed it to people and they're
That's
like,
amazing.
And I'm like, hey, I didn't even type this in. Like, I'm like, hey, go to my, message me on Facebook because it's working on Facebook really well. And like just have a conversation with, I don't know. It was pretty crazy. I was like, wow, very impressed.
So the same thing you were talking about, going out your front door, going door to door, talking to them about something as boring as like a review automation. Review automation now is boring.
Yeah.
That's lame. Yeah. But you walk out that door, you pull up your phone, you're like, look at this. and you're like, this was a bot having a conversation with a person. We have our bot trained to answer questions. Like if somebody asks about insurance, for example, okay, we've trained our clinics. Yes, we have insurance. Bring your card. We'll verify your insurance. That kind of response.
Yeah.
This bot is saying the exact same things every time, and it's nuancing the responses. It's a crazy time to be alive in the agency space and to have UpHex and GHL as the dynamic duo, and now OpenAI.
The shortcut, since this is a shortcut series, here's the shortcut. Yes. Don't sell marketing. Sell, like, set up your messenger bot and say, hey, this is how this works, this conversational bot. Oh, by the way, all this other stuff comes with it. Like, I don't know. I'm like, to me, that just popped into my head as like, because I was showing this to people. I was literally having them like, hey, go to my Facebook page. Now message me on Messenger. And I'm like, and ask it questions. And they're like literally doing that.
If you had, so for example, like there's missed call text back in Go Highlevel. Okay. What if missed call text back engaged the conversational bot?
Yeah.
So now you've got phone calls that, okay, we can make a phone call, but missed call text back, throw in an AI chatbot or conversational AI, whatever. You are one salesperson, one virtual, and it's not even a salesperson, one sales thing just became many sales things. No hours, no hourly wages. Okay. And it learns and gets better as it goes. It's very exciting.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's like, it's there, it's here. Like, and it's just starting. Like, it's going to get better. It's going to make phone calls for us later. Like, I know Google has that.
It will.
Yeah.
It will. Yeah. I saw Alex Ramosi do a little thing on that. And right now I use Descript as a video editor, and you upload something like 20 minutes of audio and it can learn your voice. And so I don't see how that's not, I don't know, a year or two away where it could jump on, have a conversation with somebody. No, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right.
I seen Google, they came like 4 or 5 years ago, they had that bot where like it was having a conversation with an owner of a Chinese restaurant. So they try to make the accent like very thick of the person that was answering the phone, and it was having a conversation back and forth.
Still doing it. Yeah. Yeah, no, what's coming down the pipe is absolutely crazy. Well, let's go ahead and we'll wrap it up here. In terms of, you've been doing this since 2020. 2019 is kind of when you got your start a little bit. Yeah. And then really started hitting the ground
level in 2019. I really didn't even know what a CRM was back then. It's like a buddy of mine was using it. It's like, hey, this is pretty cool. I said, okay. Like, I didn't even know how to use it. Like, I'm just starting to really learn the ins and outs of it. So a shortcut, do learn the ins and outs of it. It does make life easier.
I think it's funny. Okay. That was going to be my question. What would be one shortcut, one piece of advice you would give to somebody? And I mean, the way I hear you say that is take the time, become educated in the craft and the tools that run your business. Right.
Yeah. Because
and I think a lot of people just want to take,
because there's
not shortcuts. They want to cheat.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many people I see selling snapshots, and you load up a snapshot. You don't even know what the hell's in there. You don't know how it works. You don't know how it's connected. Like, I've done that. I've spent thousands of dollars on snapshots over the years, and I don't use any of them, but it's not until I started creating my own little by little and just kind of like get into the workflows where I'm like, okay, now I know where the pieces, and now when it's broken, now I know where it's broken. Like, that was a big deal.
Love it. Awesome, man. Well, this conversation could go on for hours. We just keep going and going and going. I know we're both excited about it. I appreciate you coming on here.
You're welcome.
And this has been fun. So thanks for being a part of the UpHex community and adding value, coming to our meetings and everything. And to the viewers, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.